2. It was Digital Chaos on the back of a Mason Lifestealer, a Bed Terrorblade, and a whole lot of aggression that were able to pull out the Game 1 victory. And now we're going to see if they're going to secure their way into the Grand Finals or if Thunderbirds can take this to a Game 3. I'm Dakota from Beyond the Summit, and I'm going to be joined again by my Croatian comrade. It is Lacoste. Hi, friend.
Hello, friend. And
Hiya,
hello
friend.
Hello to everyone in North America. This is your hype match, and to everyone who is watching it. We saw really close game, the previous one, but DC. What I feel about DC right now is I'm not sure how strong they are. I know they're really good, but I think they surprise me every time how good they actually are. Seems like I'm thinking that they're not that strong. But I'm glad they're actually proving me that they're really on top level.
Digital Chaos, right?
Radiant.
Or were you talking
Yes,
about Thunderbirds?
yes.
Yeah, Digital
No,
Chaos. I
DC.
think I would say a lot of the community would probably feel the same. Probably a lot of people felt. I like Jimmy. I like Demon a lot. His departure from the team probably took a lot of people by surprise. And, again, we seem to touch on this a lot. And then you have players like Bulba or Ana and those kind of players who are always under those magnifying glass. And they're just going to set a stigma against this team already. And, for a lot of the players, that might be fine. Some of them, it might even drive them to even play better. And they're just going to go out there and play their game of Dota, and if they're able to get some qualifies and some wins and some trips to land, then, hey, they might just prove everybody wrong. Already starting pretty strong in this series with a Game 1 win, and look at how they open up for Game 2. Rubik first pick with a follow-up Slardar, and Thunderbirds go for the Crystal Maiden and get themselves an Abaddon.
Yeah, classic NA pick right there. I mean, NA introduced Abaddon in the competitive scene. I don't think it was banned the previous game.
Yeah, I don't even think he was acknowledged last game. It's like he didn't exist.
Yeah, with Crystal Maiden, of course, he's like 2 times stronger as a laner, can farm jungle so much faster just using the shield all the time, and can sustain on the lane. Rubik against the Baron is like super good, and against Crystal Maiden, just by having those 2 heroes, he always have something good to steal.
I gotta say though, I'm actually scrolling through Thunderbirds' recent drafts and games, and they haven't played Abaddon in quite a while here. It would be typically a Moon Meander pickup, I'd imagine. But I immediately thought, I don't remember seeing a lot of Moon on Abaddon. That's just not a Moon Meander kind of a hero, you know what I mean? And, whereas we see him play a lot of very successful Beastmaster, occasionally gets the opportunity to pick up a Nyx Assassin or Enigma even in the off lane, or Legion Commander, of course. But what do you think about that? Or do you think that there's a possibility this could even be a 4-position Abaddon?
They might pull it off. The 4th position, I don't think it's that strong because Abaddon needs levels and can transition into carry if he gets a good amount of farm, or can just tank up with Vlad, Solar Crest, can get Radiance, of course, if he... Yeah, Abaddon is that kind of a hero that... as he gets levels, he gets so much stronger with levels. That's why Midas is really good. Every hero gets better with levels, of course, but Abaddon feels like he's super strong, and his talents are really, really good.
Yeah,
that's why Midas is always picked up on him.
I want to clarify, I'm not saying Moon can't play the hero. It's just I feel like I've never seen him actually play it. It's not like the hero takes a whole lot of finesse to be able to play. So I'm sure it's something he'll be able to just pick up and roll with. It's just going to be interesting if, Moon has any unique ideas about the hero if he does end up playing it. So it's just something to kind of spotlight and look out for during the game. Well, this is something else to look out for. Digital Chaos, they managed to scoot themselves now into a Lycan draft here. We've been seeing a lot of successful Lycan games this qualifier already, Lacoste, and I want to see if we've seen Digital Chaos even play it. I imagine this feels like a Mason hero in this kind of case.
Yeah, definitely a Mason hero. He played it a few days back.
Yeah, he had it in their matchup against Infamous, it looks like here. That was the game where we also saw the Abed Invoker, and they even had a Bounty Hunter and an Axe that game, too.
Yeah, well, it's this patch is like the rise of the Lycan, because of people figured out how to play him. Actually, before it was always Vlad's Necro build, pretty much. That was the standard build. But right now, you can go for like a Solar Crest, Echo Saber. In my opinion, Echo Saber build is the best one because of that extra slow. So you get like 2 extra hits. One from Echo Saber and then another just from that slow, so people can't move. And also Solar Crest, which is super popular these days.
The kids these days with their Solar Crests that they're buying on the streets, you know? It's just...
Yeah, I don't know if you played much pub lately, but
I play some pubs.
You do play some pubs.
I play pubs. Come on. Yeah.
Do you see Solar Crests all the time?
I mean,
bought?
I didn't say it was high-level pubs, so I don't think they even know what a Solar Crest is. No, I do see a decent share, but you'll normally see it on, you know, like Dazzle's supports who pick it up. A lot of the cores, they like to they like to go for the flashy shit. They skip over BKBs and Solar Crests, and they like to go for, you know, Sage and Yasha.
Yeah, that item. I don't know, that item has been buffed for ages and it still sucks. I mean, the main should be reworked and it's doing pretty much nothing.
Yeah. Well,
the only hero who's good with it is Troll, and is there anything else?
Sometimes on like hybrid core supports, but yeah, I don't know. It's nothing to really boast about at all. I don't think we should really pay Sage and Yasha any more thought.
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah, it's not gonna be Sage and Yasha Lycan.
So Morphling comes out though for Thunderbirds. This is a resolution classic.
Yeah, well, let me see. This is really kind of a different lineup from Thunderbirds with all these heroes: Baron, Spirit Breaker, it's Misery, Spirit Breaker, Moon, and Baron.
Yeah, so
classic morph, as you said, from Rezo.
Yeah, again, the only thing that's kind of like got me like percolated a bit was the Moon Meander Abaddon, which I haven't personally seen too much of, but excited to see. The pressuring from Misery. Misery just seems to have the deepest hero pool ever in the game, so you give him any sort of aggressive support in this meta at the moment, whether it be your Ricky, your Bounty Hunter, your Nyx Assassin, Spirit Breaker.
Well,
I'm sure he's going to get something done with it, you know.
Well, Misery played every single role a few times in every team, probably.
Do you have any? Have you had a lot of interaction with Misery? Do you have any fun stories with Misery? I remember hearing that Misery used to be a big rager, like back in the day.
Yeah,
obviously, everybody used to be. You know, everybody was kids. Everyone matures, but you know, the stories of Misery being a rager are pretty funny to me.
Yeah, I was playing Misery in his prime raging time.
Like
I remember when we were playing with Misery. He went godlike with Bottom and died like 2 times and disconnected from the game. and we actually won the game.
Was this like a competitive game or a pub game?
Yes, you know, it was competitive game.
Really?
Yeah.
10 seconds
What team was it
remaining.
at the time? What team were you on?
I think it was MYM.
MYM.
5
Yeah.
Stuff.
seconds remaining.
Something. If we end up seeing Thunderbirds make it all the way to the summit, maybe a fun
Reserve
story
time.
we could bring up at that point.
Radiant
For now, though,
team
he's been
pick.
doing a lot of work making others rage and looking to do the same here on his Spirit Breaker. But we're looking to come out with the last few picks. DC had banned out the puck. Thunderbirds get rid of that Weehaw Ember Spirit. No, sorry, not Weehaw Ember Spirit. They get rid of the Abed Ember Spirit. And now we look at what
10
the
seconds
possible
remaining.
Weehaw hero is actually going to be. Do you think one of these two teams is going to try to creep
5
in the Invoker?
seconds remaining.
Well, let's see. Well, looks good for
Reserve
DC
time.
with. Okay. Well, I don't think they're gonna pick up
DC's turn to
Invoker against Lina. Lina pretty much destroys everything on mid, especially Invoker.
What about Templar Assassin? We saw.
Oh, that could be a good hero
Yeah.
with that extra Slardar
Oh, yeah.
10
armor.
seconds remaining.
Also, Lycan.
Templar Assassin.
Yeah, there it is.
Woo!
Nice prediction, man.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I love it. It just felt like the TA kind of a game. And what do you think, though? Definitely feels a bit more intense and not as much time to play with the clock here if you're Digital Chaos. They definitely have a lineup that wants to ramp up and almost just snowball if given the opportunity. So they could be looking to try to close out this series like we saw yesterday in a quick 2-0 fashion. Like I felt like yesterday NP got knocked down to low bracket just so fast. It almost felt like a DC cheap shot. It was crazy. But Thunderbirds, if not careful, could find themselves meeting the same fate. Or do you think, Lacoste, that with the resilience and the late game potential of this classic resolution
10
Morphling, a
seconds
Weehaw Lina, Moon now on a ban, do you think Thunderbirds can hold off
5
and can take it
seconds
to a game
remaining.
3?
I like DC's lineup more once again. I was talking yesterday about MP. I favored them, but after I saw draft, I went with DC. I'll go with DC once again. Seems like they're really picking like team fight oriented heroes and good laners and
Yeah.
heroes that scale really well into late game. So they pretty much always have a super late game secured. Uh, about laning phase right now, it might be a problem for that TA because she's playing against Lina with Crystal Maiden Aura. She's a stronger hero,
That's
Lina.
true.
I mean,
Spirit
it
Breaker
can go
too.
both
Spirit Breaker's
ways,
also
yeah,
out there.
but there's a Spirit Breaker, yes. And also, they're gonna need to draw attention to mid because of the Spirit Breaker. So Abaddon on the top lane will probably get a lot of farm. It's melee hero Lycan plus Abaddon.
All right, we're going to get into it. Unfortunately, started things off with a minor pause here, but we're about to get underway in game number 2 of the Summit 7 American qualifiers. This is just our first best of 3 of today. Like all the other days, we have 2 best of 3 matchups for you. Currently in the winner bracket final, we're going to be jumping down to the lower bracket as we will witness Team NP take on SG eSports in the next best of 3, which that'll be interesting. I am very curious to see what servers we're going to play on and
Yeah.
who is going to be there for SG Esports playing.
Is there gonna be Tao or
Yeah.
some stand from Midas Club Elite?
And again, it was impressive how well SG even did, with the stand-in and with the server situation as it was. So I wouldn't count them out of their running here at the Summit 7 either. But that is the matchup to look forward to after this one. We still have to settle things here as we have Thunderbirds down 1 game in this best of 3 as they look to hold on and take it to a 3-game stretch. Currently boot camping here in California. They are super serious for this final heavy season of Dota stretch all the way up till TI. Try hard mode,
Oh, TI is what in 2.5 months?
Yep.
They should get ready.
Lots of qualifiers between now and then. Lots of lands. We have like Star Ladder.
30
A lot of people may
seconds
not
to
know,
battle.
but there is a Star Ladder land starting up just next week. And then, of course, we're going to be having Manila Masters, and then there's Epicenter, and then there's Dota Summit, the best event of all, of course. And then after that is TI. So lots of opportunities for these teams to be able to qualify, make it into those LAN events, perform well on the main stage, and maybe secure an invite to TI. So it's a big deal.
The battle
Every
begins.
game's a big deal.
Yeah, there's a lot of Dota action going on right now, like this Zodiac Cup and
Yep.
what else? Epicenter qualifiers,
Mhm.
and I think there's something else. I can't really watch everything.
These teams are all playing at least 2 best of 3s a day, it feels like. I've seen some of them play even 3. This is just that time of the season, though. Something they're pretty much used to. We've seen 3, 4 events have qualifiers stack on top of each other. It could be a bit of a shit show there. And a bit of a shit show already for Abed in the mid lane. Misery doesn't really hesitate at all at just making his presence there and starts beating him down with the lantern as much as possible. But they're going to look to do the same on Moon Meander here in the top lane too. As they hit him a couple of times, they pull out a late telekinesis, which gets him right back into the arms of Bulba with the crush. They get a lot of damage in on him, and he'll have to start dishing out the tangos.
Yeah, but interesting build on Misery. He went. There was a good block from we and him. So the lane was on their side of the map, and he skilled Greater Bash and just went ham on him.
right up in his face, forcing him to have to also go through that early bit of regen. Misery still floats around a bit, but yeah, doesn't have the charge. So either you're going to take a longer walk to one of the side lanes to start making impressions there, or he could just be hunting for bounty runes, I guess, between now and then.
Yeah, there's not gonna be 5 chicken kills from him this game.
Which again, someone has to check what is the most couriers killed in one game, because Misery definitely took down 5, at least in the last game. That was out of
At
control.
least 5.
At least 5. There definitely was 5, and with a
There
Nyx
was
assassin
5,
too.
but not sure if he took down the 5th one. I'm pretty sure the 4 was him, but didn't see the 5th one.
Fair enough. We have Forev here in the bottom lane on his Darkseer. He already has the Iron Talon, so a jumping between the lane and the jungle will help secure the Darkseer, farm throughout the game. We're not going to have to tune into Darkseer too much at the start of this one. We've seen Darkseer before. So back at top lane though, already Dubu and Bulba pulling the wave all the way back, and Moon, who doesn't have the Iron Talon totally complete, is just going to have to jungle with the classic, good old Quelling Blade in the meantime.
Yeah, he'll be happy with the Quelling Blade because of the poor man's shield purchase at the start. Well, we're not gonna talk much about Darkseer. We all know what Darkseer does.
Oh, unless they hunt for Darkseer, then things about Darkseer get a bit exciting. Which Saxa and Misery are currently looking for where the hell that little pointy-headed guy is at. He actually currently took out a wave, and Saxa is going to take a wave away from him here, or at least take away a big creep, a nice juicy one for him, because they don't really have to hang around this bottom lane at all near the Morphling. So once Misery, feels comfortable, he can now move about and not have to worry about being tied down to really any lane at all.
Yeah, he's level 2, has a charge and a bash, and
Oh, they're using a charge right now onto Forev the second he returns to the lane. And they're looking to commit in with it. A full wave of creeps is under the tower to soak up the damage coming out. And then they make their full move in. Saxa steps in with a frostbite, and that is going to be your first blood takedown. So things about Darkseer do get interesting if he dies.
yeah, pretty interesting for Thunderbirds, who got the first blood resolution once again, same as the previous game, has that ring of health, Arcane Aura level 2. This guy doesn't need to go heal.
Yeah, we'll see him down in this bottom lane coasting away. Some good farm, but you could say the same for Mason up at the top too. He's matched in even terms of CS 23 and 5. We see mid lane Weehaw 23 and 4 now as he's able to bully back Abed towards the shrine in the meantime. So is this going as expected, or is Abed struggling a touch more than what was anticipated?
Well, that start from Misery got him a bit back, but I mean, if it's a 1 versus 1 matchup, classic, Templar Assassin does really well. But with Arcane Aura and Spirit Breaker, it's, I mean, of course, Lina is stronger, especially with Arcane Aura as well. I mean, Arcane Rune. Yeah.
They do have Bulba on their side, though, and he's level 3, with boots good to go. He's flirting around the mid lane for now, but if he wants to be his own little Spirit Breaker, he could do even more work than Misery.
They see him.
He's watching from the high ground right now. Did they see him? He's walking
No,
back out the other way, it looks
no,
like.
they saw Bulba. Misery sees Bulba with ward, but he can't see him there in the forest.
They go and grab the bounty, and if they head out to that same area, and it looks like they will. Abed is actually going to get charged up from Misery, but he's able to easily hide behind the tower. Now a smoked Bulba Rubik duo here, maybe looking to move in. Misery's right next to him, but they don't care about him. They're looking to go for the better target. A pullback into Lina with the Ion Shell. They'll burst her down. The Fade Bolt's going to be there. And Abed actually gets the last hit. So good gank smoke approach comes out from DC.
Yeah, Abed, nice build on him. Blightstone, Ring of Aquila. He just skips bottle for now. Maybe he'll get it later, maybe not. He's just bringing us out to heal him up. Immediate rotation from a Baron. He saw them moving mid. He just goes straight top just to get XP because it's one-on-one against Lycan, and there's a gank coming.
Yes, there is. Misery charges right on through him. Moon happy to go deep as he has the shield already up, and it could be Mason in a world of hurt here. Saxa also able to cut him off, gets with a good frostbite, and there's going to be the finish. Only Dubu here to help out, but one Rubik alone can't do enough.
They're on the run on bottom. He doesn't have
Dire's
mana
middle tower
for
is
courier.
under attack.
Oh!
Radiant's courier
Easy
has
elbow
been
takedown of the courier right there for
destroyed.
Bulba. Not able to get the finish on Morph, but they'll take that gold. That's good.
Yeah, maybe the position 4 hero this game
Denied.
will get a few courier snipes. It's Bulba's time to shine.
Or just these teams are bad at caring for the courier. I don't know what it is, but lots of couriers, unfortunately, meeting their demise in this series already. Here, maybe a possible shift up. It's about time for Misery to buckle down and get some XP in the lane, it would appear, while Moon steps off for the jungle. Zoxa can continue to roam about, planting some wards, and just kind of pump the brakes a bit, it looks like, on any sort of early game action. Bulba, though, starting to build up the stacks for the TA like we see any other TA game. So Abed has something to fall back on. Do you think it's just one of those typical straight to Deso kind of a games, or would Abed benefit better from picking up the Blink Dagger
Radiant's
first?
middle tower is under attack.
I guess he'll just wait a little bit, see how the game progresses. They have kind of a good initiation from traps and slaughter sprint, so he can sprint in with telekinesis. It should be fine to go for Deso first.
This is going to help get him there a little bit faster. Camp of Dragons, of course. And some other creeps for him to be able to easily burst through. Misery top lane, waiting in the trees. Mason is well committed inside the lane and quickly will find himself surrounded by 3. The patience of Misery in those trees has allowed them to get this kind of a setup. He goes for the shapeshift, and he runs on out. It's only a matter of time and before he can get that bit of move speed. Just not enough bashes, not enough damage to be able to take him out. And we're not done there. Charge now coming in as Misery looks to set it up on the Dubu, but of course he's going to get the quick telekinesis pull back onto Mason. Slashes him down quite a bit, but Misery will be able to make it away.
Radiant's middle
Easily,
tower is
Misery
under
again
attack.
stealing the rune, going back to base safely. Oh,
Zox is in
Abed on the
trouble,
run.
and he does not have a shrine to fall back on. Abed with the assassination does a cute little hit and run job on the back of that haste rune. And mid lane could also be in trouble. Just as swift as he gets the kill on one end, he swings around for the mid lane. He's going to force out the rotation from Moon, who will help out with the shield. And he is looking to make it away. A trap will actually be forced. And a good defensive rotation to save the life of Wee. While bottom lane, it's now going to be Forever in a bit of trouble. He finds himself caught between possibly 3, tries to surge out, but the last hit will be there, and Resolution gets it.
Seems like a lot more action than the previous game, but it's only 3-2 at the moment. But there's a lot of action going on, not much kills though.
Yeah, very aggressive, but teams are finding themselves just barely getting out from very troubled situations. So, feisty though. Nice and early, which is the kind of Dota I like. Moons finds himself back at the top lane once again, and by now being level 7, he's certainly a lot more comfortable at just holding his own here, having the borrowed time to fall back on, and he's going to go into an early utility buildup of getting the Vlads, it looks like, first and foremost. Mid lane, we have Weehaw pressuring the tier 1, looking to go for the finish. He is level 8, and he has Laguna. A Soul Ring could be popped if he wanted to turn around and get something out of it. The charge is out. There's a telekinesis lift, pull back. They get the crush. They get the finish.
Yeah, they're committing to that tier 1 tower with only 2 heroes, and knowing Thunderbirds have, DC having a glyph also against Slardar with level 2 sprint, it's really hard to actually get that tower. And do some traps just to slow them down. Misery on the run again versus charging mid.
Got that creep. And we'll try to probably look to go for his level 6. Having the benefit of that Nether Strike adds a whole lot of extra lockdown factor. And against a lineup with a Lycan, you could use all of the extra lockdown you could get. But they're back again, and look at that. The deny of the tower right in the face of Thunderbirds. And this Rubik keeps shutting down Misery from being able to charge anywhere.
Well, yeah, they're doing some actions mid. Morphling on bottom, level 10 with what, 75 CS. Trying to pressure that bottom tower.
Starts morphing, I'm sure. First has the waveform to be able to make it away. And he'll be fine. All top lane might not be able to say the same for Mason. He's got a courier coming in, but looks like their cancel charge will be there. Look who's waiting for it. Oh, Saksa. Not able to spot it out. They get the courier over the trees, it looks like, and they're still going to wait under their smoke for maybe a hopeful get up onto Mason. While that happens, though, it's DC going for their own setup onto Resolution. So each team hoping to get a gank attempt onto the Precious Core. Mason's already out of there, though, actually, and hanging down here in the bottom lane.
DC should not dive, especially a hero like a Morph, and Abaddon has a TP ready.
They are going to do it. They're not heeding your advice. And we'll see if they've ended up paying the price for it or not. There's the lift up play, a minor pullback. No rotations are coming yet, but he has the replicate out, and he's going to be able to jump away from any trouble. And that just allows DC to be able to get the finish on the tier 1, which comes at the cost of their own tier 1, of course, in that top lane.
Yeah, but look at the bad on mid. He lost a tower, but still he has 3 kills and level 13. Deso finished. How is he level 13? The fuck?
There's hard work and dedication. I don't know.
Yeah, there was a lot of stacks.
Lots of stacks, sufficient farming, and not really getting killed or pressured too much outside of the very beginning of the game. And now has an opportunity to be able to snowball the rest of his team. Good setup from Bulba. Gets the crush on the Misery. Misery going for the charge. Lands it onto the Rubik. And then eventually will get swarmed. He goes down, and things are getting a bit concerning right now for Thunderbirds as DC are opening up to a pretty hot start already. It's only 4-3. But, you know, we could see the net worth begin to slowly creep more in their favor as they claim yet another tower.
Yeah, now that the tower is gone, once they kill 1 or 2 heroes from Thunderbird's side with Deso and a Slaughter ulti, they can take Roche down so easily. I mean, if your level is higher than the minute on the clock, you know you're doing something good.
Yeah, for sure. Here comes a charge on for Resolution here at the bottom. Can he get away this time? Well, it doesn't look like he even needs to move. He's actually looking to turn it around on Dubu and says, what the hell you thinking, boy? Dubu make it away. No, they waveform on him. Misery, follow up on for Bulba. They'll get the adaptive strike. And look at Misery hoping to set up the twofer. He's trying to keep Bulba there as well, but unfortunately they can't get the 2 of them.
I don't think they tried to kill Morph. They know they can't kill Morphling with just the Slaughter and the Rubik. What they try to do is just force Morphling to form into strength, and now Rubik stole it and has 1.3k HP.
Ah, very nice. Has nothing to say for agility, but happy to just take the extra HP chunk for sure. One of the better things to be able to steal.
Okay, Roche time.
Roche time with a Roche lineup. Takes no time at all. I see like level 5 Roches take a whole lot longer to go down. It's just ridiculous how fast they're able to get that down so quick at just before 15 minutes in. But the power of the Deso, power of the TA, and of course also having the nice synergy of the corrosive haze.
What is it called? Corrosive haze. It looks sounds like a Viper ability.
Oh, because they're not allowed to call it amplified damage anymore. I think Battle Blizzard doesn't like that, right? I'm not too sure.
Yeah.
I don't like the name of it either. I mean, it could be worse. It could be Bash of the Deep. Oh,
they're actually going on him.
Yeah. Okay. Wow. Insta kill. Insta takedown of Kagami, aka Bulba. But Abed looking to go for a bit of redemption here. Suddenly Resolution finds himself eating a wealth of damage. He's going to be forced to quick form into strength. Goes for the TP out, and he actually almost goes down. That's how hard they hit. Does manage to make it away. It costs all of his gains to do so. Dubu might not have the same fate here. He gets quickly surrounded. Forev, though, moving in, drops down the wall. And they're forced to walk on through it. It takes a lot of effort to bring Dubu down, and they could end up losing Saksa here. They vacuum him back and able to get the finish. Now Weehaw steps in, Laguna blast, but then he gets blasted on the back end. Forev with the double kill, Abed with the damage. Misery tries to rush his way out of there, is able to blast his way through Bulba before he can get a crush off. And
Bulba was actually waiting. but didn't see him coming. He was actually waiting for to charge something, but that Spirit Breaker charge is just so fast. Hard to react to that.
Wow, Forev certainly helped make something out of that fight when originally it wasn't a fight at all. It was looking just like a single Rubik pickoff, but DC didn't want to hand really anything over. They're making Thunderbirds feel like they have to work for everything in this game. Moon almost has to pop his borrowed time right there. Eating the shots from Abed. He's going straight to BKB, so he's not fussing around too much. I think that's the appropriate play.
Deny. He just tried to hit him with Psyblades.
He got charged up again, but every time he is able to step on back, and Thunderbirds are forced to reconsider. And it's blink time. Bulba doesn't want just one blink, he wants two blinks. That's how serious it is.
Well, maybe he saw HFN yesterday. Was it HFN?
Oh, yeah.
Or ADR. Not sure.
Oh, that's right. It was HFN. Yeah, drop the blink dagger. That's right. I forgot about that.
Well, just in case, having that extra blink dagger if
Yeah,
you lose
yeah.
one.
Well, he gets one for now. He'll wait for the other one. But this one is good enough for now if DC want to just turn around and make some use out of it. It looks like they'll step Bobo off, have him hit the showers a bit, and then get into action here. They already draw out the game plan. As Captain Bulba says, let's go through bottom. Or maybe swing up through mid lane.
Yeah. Immediate smoke, it's pretty much what everyone does. Once you buy a blink dagger, you don't want to show it. You just want to smoke up, get like a high kill on more for Lina. Lina, we haven't seen much of a Lina. One Laguna on that Dark Seer, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
She has a Bloodstone though.
And they're going to take their business to the top lane and pushing down this tier 2. It will be a trade, though, and a much faster trade for DC as they are much better at taking down these objectives. And they're already approaching into the high ground. We'll see our first rotation come out. It's going to be Saksa. And, oh, thank God he has that Ghost Scepter, as he would have been done in 2 shots. He gets it off quick enough, though. And Abed will have to step back outside. Now it looks like the full T-Bird squad has shown up for the full defense. Forev on the other side have been dancing about with Resolution quite a bit. Resolution does still have his TP, but is happy to get the finish on the tier 2 first. Meanwhile, back in the bottom lane, DC still flirting around here. Haven't totally pulled out. And it looks like
they're gonna go. They're gonna go back. Aegis is gone in 25 seconds, and there's not much they can do about it at the moment. They'll just try to push, but the thing is, Thunderbirds right now with that morph, with a Lincoln Sphere, he can just split push.
He might be spotted. Okay. Able to waveform out. What do you think is going to be the next item grab here for Mason on his Lycan? Has a good amount of money, but hasn't picked anything out for himself quite yet. I'm not sure if he's just a bit indecisive.
Well, I think he's waiting to actually see when the relic is going to be picked up on a Baron to see if he needs to go for BKB first.
Fair enough. We're going to have a Laguna fly out up and above. They get the hold of Forev out in that top lane, and now they're looking to get the follow-up, a deep dive in for Saksa here. And it looks like they should be able to get a hold of it. A lift pullback. At the same moment, Abed is able to get the cutoff play onto Wii. And there we see Bulba able to finally get that finish. It's a 2-for-1 trade if you consider the Weeha Lina takedown, who's already back to life.
Radiant's top tower has
Yeah. Did he get the talent? Yeah,
Yeah, he
the talent
did
as well.
We don't see them go for that talent, not too recently here. I guess by that point
No.
they normally get the Bloodstone and they're content with that. But, uh-oh, Moon now thinking about moving in. Ori loses his borrowed time, but DC not pulling out at all. Still feeling good about taking any sort of fight. Always ready to take a fight. Move in. Nice double stun comes out from Bulba. And now Misery turns to charge on in. Stolen borrowed time there from Dubu. Keeps him alive for a little bit. Eventually, they'll tear their way through him. And at that moment, it looks like DC will step away and all the way out.
charge.
Oh, they got a
And
hold of Abed. He didn't TP away, or he tried to TP on something that just took too long.
I think he TP'd to bottom lane where the Darkseer actually was, so it took longer to TP.
Oh, unfortunate there, as Freebie's going to be handed over to Thunderbirds.
That's a big kill. Misery finished Vlad's for that extra armor for his team.
Now
Until,
before
Lycan
that,
bought something. Yeah, it's a full BKB on Lycan and the dagger for Forever. Or not? It's dagger for what? For who? For Darkseer, yes. Forever.
all right. So now they have the Darkseer initiation set up. They also have that BKB you were talking about, not just on the Lycan though. They also have it in hand of Abed. So, oh, Misery. Going in deep with Resolution. May not know, but DC's waiting within the trees. Nice set of vacuum
Nice
ball
combo.
Gonna be there with the setup play from Bulba. A turn back now as they're looking to chop apart Resolution. He's able to just step out though, and he's back at mid lane. Though, left behind is going to be Weehaw, and he is going to be able to get the deny.
And,
but he loses
and he's
his
out
chances.
again.
He's back already, and there he is, top lane. Holy, I can't even catch up with him. Top lane grabbing bounty runes already, and back in the push, but he suffers more charges lost, now down to 6 on that Bloodstone, while below, Dubu meets a fate, getting caught up in arms, it looks like, between Soxa and Resolution, but now they make their own jump in play. Soxa gets the Ghost Scepter off, but they may try to burn through him. Can he actually get the better RNG with the Freezing Field? No. Man, that was a little close there for Forev. Palm sweaty a bit, but they're able to get her down.
Nick's arms are heavy again.
And Wee's able to get the pressure of that top lane all the way to the high ground now, so DC are going to have to deal with that.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Hard to say where we stand really in this game, Lacoste, because if you look, things are even in terms of net worth. Does it feel that way as well, would you say?
Dire's top tower is under attack.
I still think this is way ahead. They just need to get a purge on someone, a diffusal blade. It's not when you're going for a diffusal blade on TA. It's kind of a risky because you need a slot for late game, but Lycan can get one. Yeah, there is one queued up.
Okay, right in front of the Roche pit, they spot out Resolution. A jump and crush is going to be there. The follow-up charge from Misery, a vacuum wall, and a waveform out from Resolution. But they're looking to chase. Can they burst him in time? He's trying to morph his way out of it, but he can't do it. He's going to go down. No buyback for him, and this fight could quickly belong to DC with a follow-up Roche to take down. Could put them way up and ahead. The chase is on as they escort Moon back. They'll crush and hold him, and then a slam to the face will be there as Abed secures the double, but they're looking for Weehaw too.
They're not done.
They're going to cut him off. Another setup from Bulba. He's been on point, connecting with all these wonderful blink stuns.
Suck it, Bulba haters, man. Look at him playing yesterday and today. And they're on the run on the tier 3 tower.
And just like that, they're suddenly at the bottom, and they're feeling themselves.
Forever applauding for his team.
And they go in, tier 3's down, and if DC done it, blasting past Team NP, are they about to blast past Thunderbirds as well? 2-0? In what some would consider an upset? Old DC meets new DC. It goes like this. We'll see what kind of final defense is going to be there for Thunderbirds. Still missing out on Moon Meander. It looks like DC will take their leave with a good start to this one. They get the racks down at the bottom and walk away. Heads
Roche is up. Roche is up. Thunderbirds need to fight at the next Roche if they want to get back into the game.
Let's see. It's not looking like Thunderbirds are just going to beeline it that way. They have to first patch things up at home, dealing with that bottom lane. Could just be figuring that DC were going to be heading that way, but they did have that nice ward down, so they're going to see they have the time. And what they do instead is smoke and have a new approach. Thunderbirds, I don't think I want to say this is do or die for them, but they really need this fight to go well.
It is.
Quick BKB there, though.
Nice wall.
Counter play from Forev, my God, as he sets up a wonderful vacuum wall. The freezing field does come out from Sox as he holds under his Ghost Scepter. Is it going to be good enough? Abed, though, will turn his sights onto him and look to blast him apart. There, they crumble apart. Weehaw going to be going down. Then Soxa. They are going to get the return fire, finishing up Forev, but a stolen freezing field will help finish this one out as they shower from above. A wonderful victory. DC take another big one and going for the Roche. Man,
Again,
Forev, so
boosting
clutch.
morale of his team once again.
This is crazy. DC are playing so well. And now they're going to have themselves nearly a 10K net worth advantage off of these recent events. And it's frantic mode for Thunderbirds now. The snowball lineup is snowballing.
It seems like it's always like that when you're playing against TA. Either you like lose hard or just finish the game in 25-30 minutes.
Now DC feeling pretty good here. Could step back and get those next big items. Rubik able to pick up a Midas, kind of flexes the amount of money he's been able to sport. Basher now picked up on Mason. Abed's also finished something, and it looks like a Hurricane Pike is waiting on the Courier. Are you serious? So, pretty swole looking DC team right now, Lacoste.
Yeah, it looks pretty much over for Thunderbirds right now with that Aegis, Spike, double BKBs, even that Diffusal Blade I was talking about, and gem picked up by Slardar. They just want to take this game home pretty soon.
Frantic Thunderbirds will try to mend as much as possible, pushing out the bottom lane, stalling things out. It's going to take a misstep here from DC, it feels like, in order for Thunderbirds to be able to capitalize on that and try to take the reins back in this game. But now Shrines are going to be going down. That's more free money into the pocket of DC, escalating their advantage even further now. Tier 2 barely able to stand. And now it's all on the remaining bits of high ground here. We'll see how DC want to kind of take a calculated approach into breaching against Thunderbirds. And what do you think for Thunderbirds' high ground defense? They weren't really able to test it in the bottom lane because they lost that team fight before it. But do you think if they're all 5 out of attendance, they could have any sort of decent chance?
Well, it's Crystal Nova, Dragon Slave, but DC's lineup just melts those buildings.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, the Wolves scouting out and spotting Resolution will allow Bulba to get the follow-up, and he has to quickly jump onto that ulti. And suddenly you'll find him over at the mid lane. But DC's coming. You can try to cut the wave all you want, but they are not looking to slow down one bit.
Now look how experienced Thunderbirds are. They're immediately out of base, just trying to split push the lanes.
Yep. They're frantic and only looking to come back to the fight when absolutely necessary to do so. It's 5. Abed goes to the high ground and they're able to quickly burst down the Courier too. Abed trapping away, but not able to get any sort of serious structural damage there. But at mid lane, it's a different story. Quickly taking down to tier 3. Careful there, Saksa, as he eats some heavy side blades. Could get quickly executed now. But of course with that, Aegis is using every bit of it he can.
Shield is stolen from Rubik. That's really good for this high ground
so we're
push.
dishing it out right now. Refraction will be there as a Laguna comes out. It's not going to be enough to finish him off. And he's going to quickly heal up and still have that extra life to work with and still have that BKB with 8 seconds too. This seems pretty unwinnable. And there's the move from Forev, dropping down that vacuum wall right on top of their heads. Can they hold it out? The freezing field is going to get quickly canceled, and that's when they swarm on forward. Resolution's gone, and everyone else will be soon there to follow. Who are these Digital Chaos kids, and where the hell did they come from? They are playing out of their mind, and they have now earned the game. Just like that, the series is over. This one 2-0 going the way of DC.
Yeah, I wonder where Forev has been. I didn't see him since MVP times. I don't know if he played for any team. Maybe it slipped my eye, but this guy on Axe, this guy on Darkseer with his 4-man vacuum walls, just insane play.
Is already looking like quite the pickup here for DC right now. And yeah, to really answer your question, it does look like we haven't really seen much of him competitively since, well, his last showing was at the Boston Major back on MVP. We do know him for having a brief stint on Secret before that, but really had been off the radar for a while, and it's feeling kind of cozy here on DC, I gotta say. And now suddenly Digital Chaos find themselves in the grand final. and they'll be awaiting for that best-of-5 matchup on whoever's going to walk out from that lower bracket final. And Thunderbirds are going to have to wait also down there with them, as they're going to be watching the next series pretty closely. But to round things out for this series, Lacoste, again, DC, do they look good enough that they could take this whole thing, or do you think a run back from Thunderbirds or even a rematch against MP could be a bit more difficult for DC the second time?
Well, they convinced me. I've been following them closely since Kiev Major qualifiers, and they really improved. I was saying yesterday and a few days before about how these role changes actually benefit them a lot. I was talking about Balba. Balba, I think he can focus more on leading the team when he's playing that position 4 hero, because he's extremely smart guy, innovative, and maybe his mechanics are not like super duper high skilled, but he has that extra thing that other players don't have. Like he's a good drafter. We saw in this Summit qualifiers as well. So I think he can do much more on that position 4, and with Forev in, I think they're much stronger right now.
And DC now have earned the right to watch the rest of the series for tonight and tomorrow before they'll have to play in that grand final. So congratulations to them. For Thunderbirds, though, down but not out, as they still will have to fight their way in that lower bracket final. Guys, this is going to be the first time actually this week that we're going to have only a 2-game first best-of-3. So there may be a small break between now and the next series. I'll double check that. But we do have one more best-of-3 coming